left-handed guitar technique, or fretting hand guitar technique. If you happen to be left-handed, then it's your right hand, but that's another story. Today we're going to talk a quick overview on a great way to start with your left hand and kind of how left-hand technique works on the guitar. So first thing is we want to play on our fingertips, right? We've already kind of discussed that just a little bit. What we're going to do to start this is we're going to take our thumb and we're going to stick our thumb into the very back of the neck, right? Like not just a little thumb here, just right into the middle of your neck. And you want to keep that pretty straight, like so. And then what's going to happen is your hand's going to come around like this, creating this kind of like situation. Now, normally when we like to grasp things, we like to pick up stuff, we do this, right? So this is a little counterintuitive at first. You see a lot of great blues players that actually grab their guitar like so, they grasp it because that's probably was a little more natural for them. But what we want to do is we want to get our hand in a great position to where we can really move it around and be really free. The way we do that, take our thumb, stick it into the back of the neck of the guitar, bring your fingers around and wiggle them, right? Once you can do this, once you've created this kind of space, your fingers can move really freely and really quickly. And it also allows your tendons to move through your carpal tunnel more quickly, which is what makes you move your fingers. Another way to think about how your fingers work when you're playing, which I love, which I think is awesome, is that if you think about it, your tendons that come through your carpal tunnel that originate all the way up here go through this little carpal tunnel in your wrist, and then it's kind of a rope that lays out over your palm. And of course, this is simplified, doctor friends. But what happens if I pull this rope, right, that goes down through this, it pulls this tendon through my carpal tunnel and makes my finger move, right? Same thing with my middle and my ring and my pinky. We have flexors and we have extensors, right? Our extensors lay along the back of our fingers and we shoot our fingers out like that, right? That's like pulling the rope through here. Do you get that? That always helped me play more quickly when I was first starting to play. We want our wrist to be as straight as it can be to allow these tendons to move freely through the carpal tunnel. You know, this becomes really awkward. Like if you take your hand and bend your wrist like so and try to make a fist, it's really tough. But if I have my wrist straight, I can do that. So think about that as you're starting to play with your left hand. So we take our thumb, we stick it through the back of the neck, and the basic gist of how the left hand will work, you want your fingers to float as close to the neck of the guitar as you can. We're almost pinching. Usually my thumb is right behind kind of where my middle finger is, right? And then you'll take that finger and we'll take, just for instance, our middle finger and place it on the 6th fret of the first string, right? And I'm right on the fingertip and I'm just going to push down as close to that next fret as I can. And I'm putting a little bit of pressure on my thumb, right? Not a lot. Right? And as I'm playing, I'm doing this action. So our basic left hand technique when we first start playing is this, which is what a lot of people call it a classical technique because they use it in classical guitar because it gives you the best reach in your playing. You know, I tend to call this more of like a blues technique. And what I found is that if you start off with this, playing in this kind of classical technique with this situation, it's really easy to move into a blues technique if you're playing blues or doing some kind of music that would call for that and you want to put some real spice into it or some soul. Easy to go into that. If you start like this, I find it's hard to drop into this. So I tend to teach people to give you the most options in the future. Play with your thumb into the back of the neck, your fingers around like so. That attitude as you move up and down the neck won't really change much. That's kind of the idea behind it, right? So there's your basic left hand technique. It works for most people. Everybody's a little bit different. Of the 50 guitar teachers I've had, everyone has a little bit of a different style. But that's the basic thing to remember. Thumbs up, into the back of the neck, fingers come around, they're moving freely, and you play your notes on your fingertips. Best of luck to you. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll go into this more later. Have a great one.